Hi, Nick Tockert here with the Historical Fencing Guild. I'm sorry there's been quite a bit of a delay. I've had some health problems, so I've got some new straps and other things to keep me going. But I've got this big news I've been holding off on. I had planned to do an outside video, but it's roughly 15 below with the wind chill, and my new studio equipment isn't in yet. So I have to improvise, but that's what we're all about in the Historical Fencing Guild. What you shouldn't have to improvise on, however, is your weapon. And for the last many, many years, pretty much since I quit using my beloved Schlager, I've had to fight with weapons that didn't quite do what I wanted them to do. So, what I did is I got a hold of Christian down at Purpleheart Armory, which anybody who's watched this channel knows is a big guild favorite. And after falling in deep and surprisingly now fickle love with the Venetian infantry trainer, I messaged him. I'm like, Christian, would it be possible to change it a bit and make something that would do what I need it to do? I've sat on this for a couple weeks because I want to let the guild members really get to handle it before I did a review, see how it handles, fight with it a bit. I really wanted to do this right. And today, what I have for you is this. This lovely weapon is what's known as the Italian Sidesword Tactical Trainer. Now, I commissioned this to be very, very similar to the lines on the Venetian. The blade is slightly shorter. It's around a 28-inch blade. The guard is about twice the size and actually provides very good coverage. After the holidays, we're supposed to be working on discussing how to get something more dished to provide slightly better hand protection. And after I get done with some of my commission work, I might be working on something on my own side just to test it. Want to complement his new retention system, which is this rather thick rubber, it's almost like an O-ring that connects it. Now, obvious features. We have my beloved keyhole grip, knuckle dusters, and quillions. Keons for the folks who like that. The point of balance on this version is about, well, right here. It's about a hand's width out, providing for very smooth cuts. I'm sorry, I'm working in the house, so very narrow area to work with. The quillions have shown no damage whatsoever from use. Of course, I'm going to beat on them some more. Neither has the knuckle duster, but I'm fully expecting that to be the standard. I've been spoiled by Christian's work. Now, you are going to be seeing a lot more of this and its mate in my videos. Let me show you its mate. For an additional charge, Christian can put up a steel pommel, stainless steel riveted on there. Very delightful. And what it does, aside from add a little overall weight, is it pulls the point of balance. It's actually quite hard to grab. The point of balance is literally it's inside where the guard is sitting right now. The point of balance I can't get is literally right at the guard. What does that mean? That means, and I am back against the wall, but that's okay. This is the most responsive weapon I have ever held, outside of a foil. This may be more responsive than even my my Schlager. It's ridiculous. It is a little bit shorter because it is a side sword, which means the problem, people like me who have a slightly shorter height. I'm only 5'7", 5'8", depending which leg you measure. I have just nearly a perfect cut to the ground. So I have near perfect protection. I cannot sing the praises of how adaptive this weapon is. Well, actually, I can. I can make it real simple. I have tennis elbow. I have tennis elbow in both my elbows right now. And I acquired it because I got a hold of these two weapons. And I drilled for hours and hours and hours on it to the point where it was too much. I actually love these things so much, I strained myself a bit. I don't want to put them down. I love my other sword. Like I said, it was my brand new teddy bear. But you have these. I've spent 20 years looking for weapons that work for me, that are comfortable, and across multiple styles, certainly across HEMA, and to have something in the department of a $50 price range. Now that's without the pommel. There's a substantial upcharge, but really it's worth every cent. I can't talk about how amazing both the process of dealing with Christian was. We emailed back and forth. I sent pictures. He sent pictures. We talked about features. We're sort of on a holiday hiatus, but we're still talking about features. This weapon right here, and its mate with the pommel, will be the weapons I use in my upcoming video series. I recently acquired a green screen so I can have a backdrop. I have a better camera sitting in the box with an actual separate boom mic instead of recording off of my beloved cell phone on a tripod. We should have studio quality or near studio quality production near the end of January. And when I do my videos, and I'm discussing the manual which I wrote, Simple Sword, it's available on Amazon, I'm going to be using these. These are the official swords, both of the Simple Sword and the Historical Fencing Guild. I'm recommending pretty much everyone just buy these. Now, like I said, he's working on new guards, and with this rubber piece, you can actually remove it. It actually comes off reasonable, not in combat stress, but you can pry and lever it off, which means theoretically you could change out the guard if you want a different style, if you want more minimalist, or if you're like me and I'm eventually wanting the full cup. But I needed something that would show fingering positions when I'm explaining how to do the different disengages. And I look how little motion it is taking for me just to, I'm not even looking at the tip. I'm just playing, just the slightest hand motion, and I'm doing tiny, this is unheard of in a HEMA weapon, to do 1-inch disengages. This is the kind of control precise swordsmen like myself really, that is amazing. And I can do that consistently and comfortably. Frankly, this is the best entry-level sword on the market. I think it handles better than Black Fencer's Rapier. I've handled their side sword, and frankly, it was not as well balanced and not as well controlled as this very simple, very reasonably priced sword, the Italian Sidesword Tactical Trainer. This is a game changer, folks. I've been going on for nearly 10 minutes about how wonderful this sword is. My students are buying them as money comes down the pipe. You should too. If you're looking to get into this, if you are looking to start HEMA or just any sword fighting, or you want something for stage use, this looks good enough even on stage. It's white plastic, but looks good enough. I can't see anybody not wanting the sword. So, by all means, go down to Purpleheart Armory. I'll put the link. I'll try to put the link in the description. If not, I'll just send you to Purpleheart Armory, and I'll re-get the link from Christian. Buy this. Just go. I don't say this lightly. I'm like, Marco, if you ever want to fight reasonably, I'm sorry, my buddy Sword Sage, you need one of these. Get them to make a gin. Talk to them. If you have commissions, talk to Christian. A lot of times you're looking for that weapon that just fits right and you can't find it on the market. Talk to them. I can't preach enough. So you will be seeing a lot of these in the following weeks. I'm going to say helping design this is one of my greatest accomplishments as a swordmaster. I feel helping be responsible for this weapon is one of the best things I have done to help the community, because it's literally that good. You know, after my manual and the individual students, this right here, the Italian Sidesword, is pretty much my baby. And everybody should just have one. I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that often. It is, it is rigid because it is of the Tactical Trainer line, but I can't find fault with this weapon, and I've tried. I've waited an extra week to really have a beef with this. And the only thing is, it's so good you won't want to put it down, and you got to get in good shape because you're going to be using this all the time. It feels so natural you don't realize you're using the weight. So, well, folks, that's more time than I intended to take on this. As I said, you can expect some new production values. I'm going to be throwing this in the link for Purpleheart Armory in the descriptions. Please like, please follow, please subscribe. I've got some other big announcements coming. And as always, support your local swordmaster.